Hi, I'm Steven, the calculator guy, founder of DeFi Dojo Discord, and today we're talking about Chronos. What is Chronos? Why is Chronos? And how is Chronos? Well, let's just dive right into it. So Chronos is named after the god of time, and that is for a reason. Chronos is the first solidly fork that utilizes the reliquary MA NFT system, which means your positions mature over time, and as they mature, you will get more of the APR of that epoch, more of that emissions epoch relative to other investors who have more immature positions. So here you can see sort of the ranges. If you just opened up a position today, you'd get 16.3%, maxed out to 32.61% for this particular epoch. Of course, these numbers change every epoch. If you're unfamiliar with solidly forks, basically an epoch is just a round of emissions. So if you go over to vote, you can sort of see all of the pools that are available. And what happens is people who hold VECHR vote on particular pools, and then the emissions for that epoch will go based off of the vote. So right now, you can see WETH USDC has 11.28% of the total votes. If that percentage stays the same by the end of the epoch, then that pool will get 11.28% of that epoch's total emissions. Now you might be thinking, well, what are the rewards over here? These rewards, you can see it's mostly USDC, wrapped Ethereum. These rewards go to the voters, so the people with the VECHR, right? So they're effectively being bribed to vote on these. Now there's another huge thing you might not know about solidly forks, but if you've been around the game for a while, you probably do know this. With solidly forks, the liquidity providers do not get swap fees. Rather, the swap fees go to the voters. So liquidity providers get emissions only. The voters, the vote escrowed CHR token holders who are voting on these gauges, get the swap fees, plus they also get these bribes and rewards. This tries to co-incentivize the liquidity providers with nice emissions, as well as the bribers or the vote escrowed lockers, or the people who are locking up the proprietary asset of the protocol and voting and directing emissions, right? So that is the way that solidly forks work. It's very simple. So let's just say I choose my NFT, which I already did, right? Once you've done that, you can vote on whichever one you want up until expiry or the end of the epoch. Now, for me, what you want to do is you want to look for the highest APR and with a reasonable amount of rewards. So, with LUSD, these are assets that I like. The rewards are in terms of LUSD, an asset that I like, Arbitrum, an asset that I like. And so this is the nice one, right? A pretty good ratio, 805% APR. That's wonderful. You might also look at like LUSD Liquidity, really good. Now, right now, these are high APRs. However, you're going to want to look and maybe vote an hour before the epoch expires, because if you don't, these numbers could change dramatically and you could be stuck in a gauge that's not necessarily going to pay as well as other gauges at that time. So very simple. One that I was looking at was like USDC plus or USD plus, DAI plus, because 223%, that's great, and it's paid out in USD plus, DAI plus, two assets that I don't mind holding. Not that I don't mind holding, but I don't mind getting paid in, because I do think that they'll last at least to the end of the epoch. Now, people thought the same thing with DAI and Deus, and look what happened. But no shade to Deus. Those guys are very intense. Hopefully, you guys get fully made whole. Nevertheless, if you want to see your epoch rewards, I can click on next epoch rewards. You can select your VECHR NFT. You can see that I'm in the wrapped Ethereum Liquidity pool. That's what I voted for. That's what I committed my votes towards. And I will be rewarded roughly $150 in Liquidity and wrapped Ethereum, maybe even LUSD, I forget, at the end of this. So cool. I like that. You can claim these at the end of each epoch. So right now we're in epoch 1. I won't be able to claim these until epoch 2. And then when I vote on epoch 2, I won't be able to claim those rewards until epoch 3, et cetera, ad infinitum. All right, awesome. If you want to bribe particular pools, you can. This is mostly a mechanism for protocols. So like, let's say you are the protocol owners of USD Plus and DAI Plus, you want to bribe with wrapped Ethereum. You could bribe, I have a little bit of wrapped Ethereum. I could bribe 2.8, and that would then incentivize voters to vote towards your LP, this LP. So you would get more votes, which means more emissions, which means more attractive APRs towards LPers, which means more liquidity. And if the liquidity ends up being sticky because of the MA NFT mechanism, everybody's happy, right? You get sticky liquidity for your protocol. Fantastic. The liquidity providers get nice APRs from Chronos. Fantastic. The VECHR voters get nice bribes in terms of this wrapped Ethereum you've dedicated. Fantastic, right? Everyone is happy for the most part. But of course, people getting that CHR are unlikely to understand the flywheel here. So they are very likely to just like sell their CHR. So there is going to be some inherent sell pressure on CHR, but that's going to sort of be balanced by whatever APRs are available through the voting, right? So if the voting APRs are just so phenomenal, people will buy CHR to some extent to go and participate in that sort of basic solidity model. That's like the flywheel that's supposed to happen. So you're supposed to take your CHR, lock it, and then go and vote on it. And, you can sell your locked CHR. That's sort of the beauty of these. You can see all of these different positions being sold on OpenSea. These are locked CHR positions. They're selling for about 35 cents per VECHR at the moment. If you wanted to do that, right, you could participate in that flywheel. That way you're more or less only getting bribes rather than selling your CHR. So this is good for CHR. You're getting bribes that might be more than 100%. So you might be getting more than your APR, right? If you're getting CHR and then on that CHR you're getting more than 100%, it's theoretically better than having sold your CHR initially. Funky math. If you do just want to compound, I built a little calculator. Let's just say you received, this is for all Solidly forks. Let's just say you received 100 emissions, whatever token it is. And the LP asset of one, I'm using Ethereum and BTC as an example, is 1873. LP asset number 2 is, I probably want to do 28,500. That's like a BTC price, right? And yeah, this is probably right. And if you put in, let's just say we go over here and is there a wrap BTC? Yeah, okay. So let's just say we want to wrap BTC, manage, and I put in, we need to swap these. So there we go. And you put in 1, right? You need to put in 0.0668 wrapped Bitcoin. So you put this here, 0.0668, and it sort of tells you what to do, right? So you should sell 49.5 of your 100 emissions to asset 1, which is ETH, and sell 50.4 to asset 2, which is BTC. That will allow you to re-enter and compound very easily. Let's say you want to do this with a stable pool. These ones often have like disjointed liquidity. So USDC, USDT, right? Let's say you have 1.14. So value of asset 1 is 1, value of asset 2 is 1. They're both $1, and then it's 1.14 here. So here you'd put 46 of your 100 into asset 1, which is USDT, and then 53 into asset 2, which is USDC, right? So it sort of just tells you how to compound. This makes your life a lot easier rather than trying to guess and guess and guess and guess. Now LP enteror is another trick here. So let's just say you have a starting. So these two should be separated because they're like different calculators depending on what you have. So if you're starting with asset 1, whatever it is, and you have, let's say you have 500, right? You have 500 USDT. You should swap 266.35 to USDC. That will allow you to, is that right? Yes, because you need more of USDC. Yeah, this will allow you to enter into the position very easily. So here you have an entering calculator, you have a compounding calculator. Hopefully this will help you guys with your Solidly Forks LPing, because it can be a huge hassle, and I totally understand that. So, all right, that's entering LPs, that's compounding your rewards. For the good of the protocol, you should consider the flywheel, but certainly I'm not going to tell you to use a flywheel, right? Taking profit is generally the best thing to do. If you can auto compound, it makes your life even easier. If you're going to manually compound to get the maximum value out of these without anyone taking fee, like Fifi takes, I think, a 9 to 10% performance fee. So if you want to avoid that, you can compound manually. I like to compound manually, reduce smart contract risk, get your hands dirty a little bit. It's something fun to do every now and again. But one thing to note is that like there also is this sort of Chronos NFT aspect to this ecosystem. And right now, the Chronos NFT holders are getting a portion of the platform fees. And they're also getting a portion of the swap fees. So, right, like if you are holding a Chronos NFT at the floor price, which is like 0.17 ETH, then on that NFT, you're getting 47.46% APR based on the current fees going towards these NFT holders. So that's pretty cool, right? But this price is going to change as the APR goes, APR over there, as that APR goes up, the value of the NFT is going to go up because the demand is going to increase, right? It's a more enticing deal. As that APR goes down, so as swap fees start to decrease, then people are going to sell their position because the risk reward's not worth it anymore. So I imagine there's like a sweet spot APR where like that's sort of where these things will be priced. So right now we're looking at 47% or 50%. I think it's probably going to be around 25% to like 55%. I think that's a nice range. And somewhere within that range, it's probably going to fall. So, you know, we're in week one, or just finished week one of Chronos being live. There's been a lot of hype. It's attracted a ton of TVL. Again, it's like the second largest solidly forked by TVL that exists in all of DeFi, second only to Velodrome. And it's unclear how much momentum this thing is going to continue to have. If the MA NFT system catches on, if there is a robust MA NFT marketplace built for these positions, and if protocols start to see the value in this sticky liquidity on Arbitrum, yes, Chronos could become a mainstay, like a very popular and very powerful protocol on the Arbitrum ecosystem. But right, if that doesn't happen, if there is no easy way to sell and advertise your MA NFTs, sell them at a premium, then there's no reason to just keep them, right? People will just exit instead of selling them. Sorry. And if the like CHR price just gets continuously dumped by mercenary farmers, that also sort of disincentivizes Chronos as a farming platform, because the APRs across the board will start to go down. And then of course, like there'll be vampire forks. So there's a lot of things to consider. I like Chronos, and I am hopeful, and I think that their mechanism is very cool. And the MA NFT system might genuinely work and attract sticky liquidity. But I also realize that, one, I'm biased because I have a lot of CHR NFTs. I also have some VECHR that I'm locked in using. And I also know that like the Byte Masons reliquary system, which is the MA NFT system, is not going to only be used on Chronos. There's going to be a number of Solidly forks that implement this system, and we could just see like a MA NFT Solidly fork season where you just have these vampire attacks from protocol to protocol, which would be unfortunate. I would love to see Chronos sort of have longevity, stick it out, be the sort of MA NFT protocol of the Arbitrum ecosystem, and see like maybe there's one on Avalanche as well and Optimism as well, but the only one on Arbitrum be this one. Nevertheless, only the free market will tell. And I don't think that the reliquary system is this proprietary piece of tech that's not meant to be forked. From what I understand, the Byte Masons do expect it to be forked and utilized all across DeFi. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you get a good understanding of what's going on Chronos and how to use it. If you want to talk DeFi, if you want to talk strategy, of course, feel free to join the DeFi Dojo Discord. It is the greatest Discord in all of DeFi. We're there talking strategy, yields, opportunities all day long, and would love to have you. We are down to a 1-week trial now, so do understand that when you go in, it's no longer a 1-month trial, but you can pay with crypto if you want to, which is pretty cool. It's on ETH mainnet, so pretty cruel due to gas fees, but credit cards are also accepted. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your day.